Remember when you were when a 16-year-old won a Premier League game in the 100th minute? St James's Park went silent as Rio Ngumoha, 4 days before turning 17, side-footed Liverpool's winner on his debut. In one strike, he became the club's youngest ever goalscorer and the fourth youngest in Premier League history. That wasn't hype, that was history. But to understand that moment, rewind to Newham, East London. A kid with Nigerian roots, bag on his shoulder, Chelsea Academy by 8, all step-overs and straight-line courage. When the first team door in West London stayed shut, Liverpool bet on the pathway over promises. He arrived in September 2024, tore through youth levels, and this summer trained with the seniors, soaking up minutes on tour and lessons from the dressing room. Then came Newcastle. Salah fizzed it across, Szoboszlai dummied, and Rio didn't blink. This video is for the dreamers, academy parents, Sunday League teams, and Liverpool fans wondering what's real about the hype. We'll break down how he balances school and football, what his data actually says, and why Arne Slot's system might be the perfect runway. By the end, you'll know whether that finish was a lightning bolt or the first flare from Liverpool's next star. Where does a moment like St James's Park come from? Start in Newham, East London. That's where Rio Ngumoha was born, to a family with Nigerian and Guadeloupean roots. A kid who grew up with a ball at his feet and a habit of running at the nearest set of cones or defenders. He isn't a manufactured star. He's a London street footballer polished by elite academies. Chelsea spotted him early. He joined their academy at 8, rose fast, and by 15 was already touching under 21 minutes. In 2024, he helped Chelsea lift the Under-17 Premier League Cup, then landed in the Guardian's Next Generation 2024 list, an early stamp that this wasn't just hype. Coaches across the game could see the craft in his dribble and the calm in his final action. The turning point, pathway. In the summer of 2024, Liverpool moved. They believed the road to senior football would be clearer on Merseyside. The transfer stung Chelsea enough that the clubs headed to a tribunal to set compensation, an issue still reported as unresolved a year on, a measure of how highly his old club rated him. Once at Kirkby, the plan accelerated. Arne Slot brought him into first-team training by autumn 2024. He made the bench for the EFL Cup in December, then started the FA Cup tie at Accrington on January 11th, 2025, becoming Liverpool's youngest FA Cup player and the youngest starter in club history at 16 years and 135 days. That wasn't a cameo, it was trust. Summer 2025 felt like ignition. On July's Asia tour, he mixed with seniors, soaking up minutes and delivering end product. 2 goals and 2 assists across 4 friendlies. Back at Anfield on August 4th against Athletic Club, he needed 2 minutes to score from an Alexis Mac Allister pass, then rolled in Darwin Núñez for 2-0 inside 5. If you wanted a snapshot of what he is, it was there. Direct, decisive, fearless. Liverpool didn't just find Rio Ngumoha, they prized him out of Cobham with something Chelsea couldn't match, a clear accelerated pathway to senior football. A Blue from age 8, he chose Kirkby days after turning 16 in 2024, convinced Anfield would move him faster from academy pitches to first-team minutes. Chelsea pushed to keep him with significant offers, but the message from Liverpool was simpler and sharper: development for the first team now. The exit stung. Inside Cobham, the sense of loss was real, and coaches across the game agreed the pathway logic stacked up given Chelsea's congestion in wide roles. Because he moved as a scholar, this wasn't a transfer fee, but compensation to be set by the Professional Football Compensation Committee, PFCC. At the hearing, both clubs must evidence their valuations. The PFCC weighs age, playing record, their 8 years at Chelsea, each club's status, and the terms offered, among other factors. The panel is 4-person and independent: a chair, a Premier League appointee, a PFA representative, and a 4th member with academy recruitment and/or valuation data expertise. Its decision is final and binding, and while the progress drags on, the Premier League has declined to comment. Contractually, English FA rules mean Rio could only sign a professional deal upon his 17th birthday, August 29, 2025, and only once he is no longer in full-time education. At 17, the maximum initial term is 3 years and requires parental or guardian consent. Until now, he's been on a standard scholar's wage, around £1,200 per month. Liverpool's first-year pro baseline is about £52,000 per year, heavily incentivised with performance bonuses. Liverpool insist they did not break that pay structure to land him, but everyone expects he'll be rewarded now that he's eligible to sign. So, how far can Rio Ngumoha go? Start with the baseline. At 16 years and 361 days, he became Liverpool's youngest ever scorer and the fourth youngest in Premier League history, with a 90-plus 10-minute winner away at St James's Park. That's not hype. It's an age and context record delivered under maximum pressure. Players who announce themselves like that usually don't fade, they accelerate. Project the player, not the moment. Ngumoha's superpower is purposeful directness. He receives on the half-turn, shifts either way and attacks space with a body feint that buys separation without needing 5 touches. Pre-season hinted at a sustainable end product, 2 goals and 2 assists across 4 friendlies, while his January FA Cup start at 16, a club record for young starter and youngest FA Cup appearance, showed the staff trust him in senior structures. Those aren't YouTube clips, those are repeatable indicators, timing of runs, economy in the box, and composure to pick the near post over power. Fit matters. Under Arne Slot, wide forwards must be vertical without being chaotic, press on the trigger, arrive in the box, and keep the ball when the press breaks. Slot's public line: keep bringing these performances, and it won't be the last time. Maps onto a cautious ramp. Carabao FA Cup starts, selective language cameos, and minutes clustered when the schedule compresses. Critically, he's already trained with and impressed senior teammates across the summer, which flattens the learning curve on decision speed. What could cap his ceiling? 2 things: decision-making under traffic and the physical grind. At academy level, he was often double or triple teamed. In the Premier League, those boxes are tighter and fullbacks nastier. If he continues to turn 1v2s into give and goes instead of dribble taps, the production follows. The encouraging sign is that his best pre-season actions weren't tricks, they were first-touch choices that advanced the attack. So, how far? A realistic 12 to 18-month path is impact rotation winger, with double-digit goal contributions across all competitions if he stays healthy and the minutes flow. Beyond that, his ceiling is Champions League knockout starter by 1920. He's already passed the hardest test, doing something decisive on a big stage, very young. Now it's about repetition. If he stacks that, Liverpool haven't just found a prospect, they've found a pillar. Liverpool's newest storyline doesn't begin in the 100th minute at St James's Park, but it finds its headline there. A 16-year-old finishing like a veteran, days from his 17th birthday, turned a debut cameo into a declaration. Liverpool's youngest ever scorer, and proof that pathways, not price tags, still truly decide games. But that strike only publicised what his journey had been whispering. Newham beginnings, Cobham schooling, a brave switch to Kirkby, and a fast track into first-team spaces. What sets him apart? Rio isn't just flashy, he's fearless, direct and intelligent. He beats defenders with purpose, times his runs perfectly and has the composure of a veteran in front of goal. Sterling and Owen comparisons will keep rolling, but he's intent on writing his own story. Pre-season end product, youth-level resilience under double teams, that record FA Cup start at 16 and steady integration under Arne Slot all point to the same thing: repeatable actions, not viral moments. For Liverpool, he's more than a feel-good prospect. He solves a real football problem: fresh legs that press, carry and finish without breaking the structure. Fans already adore him, and Slot's faith in young talent suggests a patient ramp. Carabao and FA Cup starts, targeted league minutes and Europe when the schedule tightens. For every academy kid juggling exam and football, his story is a blueprint. Control what you can, choose the right pathway, stack good days. So, how far can he go? As far as his decisions keep scaling, the tools are there, the mentality reads right, and the environment fits. For Liverpool supporters, patience now meets genuine data-backed excitement. That winner against Newcastle wasn't just 3 points, it was the birth of Liverpool's next star. Now comes the hard part, doing it again and again until the moment becomes the norm and the prospect becomes the pillar.